Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Pada Shankaram Loka Shankaram Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yatkripatamaham Vande Paramananda-madhavam Paramananda-madhavam.
Verse 45. Sthano purushavad-bhrantya krita brahmani jivata jivasya tatvike rupe tasmin drishte nivartate tattvaswarupanubhavat utpannam jnanamanjasa aham ameti cha jnanam badhate digbramadivat samyak vijnanavan yogi swatmanyevakhilam jagat ekam cha sarvamatmanam ikshate jnana chakshusha atmaivedam jagat sarvam atmano nyanna vidyate mrido yadvad-ghata-dini swatmanam sarvamikshate jivan muktastu tadvidvan purvopadhi-gunam styajet satchidananda-rupatvat bhavet bhramara-kitavat.
So describing what exactly has happened, the problem, and what is exactly the solution. What is the problem? What is the solution? What is the problem? It is like this. You have seen a sthanu to be Purusha. In that evening semi-darkness, when you can't see properly, you have mistaken that sthanu to be a Purusha. In the same way, you have mistaken yourself to be the jiva without seeing properly. That's the problem. And what is the solution? When you understand, when you look carefully at that Purusha, and then you see, this is just a sthanu. Sthanu? What is sthanu? You know, right? That post. It's not post. When we think of post, we think of electric, that post and things like that. It is not that post. What is this post? This is a tree whose branches has been shred, and whose leaves are not there. The branches have been taken for firewood. It stands like this. So when you look carefully, then what happens? Then you understand it is only a sthanu. In the same way, look at yourself carefully. If you want to find a solution, look at the problem carefully. The problem is the sense of I. Look at it carefully. How can I be the body? How can I be the mind? How can I be the intellect? Look at the problem carefully. And when you look at the problem carefully, you will discover the solution there. And when you look at that jiva, when you look at that purusha, and then you find the sthanu, where did the jiva go? Where did that purusha go? The purusha did not go anywhere, because he was never there. And when you look at the jiva bhava, I am the body, I am the mind, I am the intellect carefully, you suddenly find, how can I, body, be equal? How can I be equal to mind? So that, and what is this jiva bhava? Jiva bhava is not the pure Sachidananda. Jiva bhava is not the body, mind, intellect. Marrying this Sachidananda with this body, mind and intellect in imagination. It's not an actual marriage. It's only imagined marriage. Then when these two get married, then what happens? There arises an imaginary entity called jiva. Sachidananda is there. Body is there. I am body is not there. This I am body is jiva. Thoughts are there. Sachidananda is there. But I am thought is an imagination. Such a thing is not there. So an imagined entity we give reality and we live our whole life. I can live my whole life thinking it is a Purusha when it is Sthanu. And ensure that the windows are closed there and it is properly barricaded. And ensure that I have my knife always with me when I go to sleep. I can do many things. Live my whole life in imagination. But finally, when you recognize the truth, it is such a simple problem and it is such a simple solution. The simplicity of the solution makes us think with so much of disbelief. That's all. That's all. But shifting that attention from the body to self is such a difficult thing at this point of time because the mind is so extroverted. And in that way, when the jivasya tatvike rupe tasmin drishte, jivasya tasmin tatvike rupe drishte, then what happens? Nivartate. It just goes. It just goes means what? It just ceases. It ends. The man did not go anywhere. Just disappeared. Not that it was actually there to disappear. It appeared in ignorance, in delusion, and it ceases in knowledge. It was never there in the first place, and there is never a reason for it to go anywhere. It just ends. In this way, when the tattva swarupa is recognized, that knowledge which arises, what does the knowledge do? Ajnanam aham mama iticha. Jnanam aham mama iticha. Ajnanam anjasa badate. Is there a drop in the volume occasionally? Are you getting something? No? Okay. So, ajnana says something. Suddenly, ajnana, some words are not. Anything you are finding or? No, you are not finding. This is called as imagination. There's some problem, I think, here. Later you check up. So, what does this jnana do? This jnana immediately dispels all notions of ignorance. Once we recognize I am Sachidananda Swarupa, I am body has no place to stay. And when you say I am body has no place, then immediately those things which I associate as mine based on the body. So one is called as dharmi adhyasa. Another is called as dharma adhyasa. These are two terms we use in Vedanta. Dharmi is what? Dharmi is that which has dharma is called dharmi. That which has dharma means what? That which has properties is called dharmi. Now, dharmi adhyasa is what? Dharmi adhyasa is taking something to be some object with a certain property. Thus, I can take a rope to be snake. Now, when I take the rope to be snake, now the properties of snake becomes that ropes. Snake is dharmi. Properties of snake is what? It is fearsome, it is dangerous, it's poisonous. Now suddenly this poor innocent rope becomes poisonous. Why? Because I have made dharmi adhyasa. Once there is dharmi adhyasa, then there will be adhyasa of the dharmas of that dharmi also in that substratum. If I take myself to be the body, then man and woman, dharma also will come to me. If I take myself to be the mind, then the properties of the mind also will come to me. So aham stands for dharma adhyasa, mama stands for, aham stands for dharmi adhyasa, mama stands for dharma adhyasa. So I am body, dharmi adhyasa. This is my nature, man, woman, tall, short, fat, lean, dharma. So that becomes what? That becomes my property. So first you have dharmi adhyasa, and dharmi adhyasa will necessarily leads to dharma adhyasa. Aham mama iti cha ajnanam badate digbhramaadivat. And what is this vision of the jnani? Samyak vijnanavan yogi atmani eva akilam, in the self. Swatmanyeva akilam jagat. In his self he sees the whole world, and he sees the whole world as but his self. In other words, there is nothing which he considers as other than himself. Everything he knows is himself. The good and the bad he knows, he sees as his self only. Everything he sees as himself. This kind of perception of the entirety of cosmos is myself. Suppose there is that wave. Ocean has got many waves. Suppose the wave considers itself to be a wave, then it will say, I am a wave, this is a big wave, this is a small wave, this is a bubble, because the identification of that wave is with itself. But when the wave understands it is water, then the way it looks at other waves also will be very different. It would not consider a big wave as a big wave. It will probably see it as a big wave, but no, this wave is also me. The friend is also me, the enemy is also me. This is the vision. Swamiji, if I think like that, I will have a lot of trouble. That crooked fellow is me means what? He can do so, I faith, problem for me. Problem? It is not like that. Vyavahara will go in a certain way. It is not that when you look at your mother, Mummy, no difference. I and you, same. No, vyavahara will go the same. When you see your parents, then you will offer your respects to them. That will not change. When you see a guru, you will say, I am very grateful to you. You don't go and say to the guru, I and you are same, ho gaya, pura ho gaya. No, it is not like that. It is the inner understanding. Outside vyavahara will remain as it is. It is not that when you see a snake, snake, actual snake we are talking, okay? Not rope snake. You see a snake, and there are quite a few snakes here. Anybody has seen snake here? Scorpion. It's all actually their place only, na? In their place you come and stay and then you say the scorpion is there. It's all nature, full nature. It's not that when you see a scorpion, my dearest scorpion, Atma Sachidananda Swarupa, you are also Sachidananda Swarupa. We both are same. Come, my dear. It's not that. It's not that. It's not that. There is an inner understanding. When you see a tree and then you know this tree is also me, then your behavior towards the tree will be truly appropriate. Without raga-dvesha, what is to be done? Without raga-dvesha, exactly what is to be done? Suppose there is, let us say, a pussy wound here in your own hand. Smelly, dripping with pus. Yes, that is also me. But you will definitely go to the doctor and remove it. You will do what is required appropriately without any emotional baggage. Sometimes people ask the question, is anger right or wrong? Anger right or wrong? More important than asking the question, is anger right or wrong, we have to ask the question, how to use anger rightly? How to use anger rightly? Every emotion which is there, given to us, has got a purpose to serve. It has a reason. Nothing which is there in nature is neither redundant nor has an absence of purpose. But what is important is that you should know how to employ that anger. Now, sometimes we think, sadhaka usually thinks desire, anger, all these things are to be dropped. Right? They're all negative. And then the mind has to focus. All those things are there, no doubt. But that is only one phase. Mastery of any emotion means you can use that emotion rightly, appropriately, as per requirement. That's called mastery. Now suppose you have a pen. And that pen has got, you're not using properly. Instead of putting this pen like this, you're putting upside down, or whatever you are doing, some mistake you're doing, because of which the whole pocket is getting. Now, suppose you take a decision, I will never use a pen. Now, what is required is, you need to learn how to use the pen. The same way, whatever emotion is there, those emotions have to be appropriately utilized. And that is called as mastery of the mind. I'll give an example, you will understand. This was at the time when I was a brahmachari in the ashram, studying. Swamiji, Gurudev Swami Chinmayanandji, had come. It was Sunday. Sunday morning, after morning class, up to 1 o'clock we don't have a class, on Sunday only. Saturday, Sunday, every day you have a class. Vedanta goes on. We have come there, it goes on. No, nothing stops. Only Sunday we have that gap so that we can catch up with what is left off, what the things we do. Even if you have not caught up with your sleep, that day you little bit catch up with your sleep. Day in and day out studies go on. The Swamiji had come. And that week my seva, that week my duty was to take care of this amplifier mic and all. Okay? Week by week it changes, duties change. So that was my duty. Suddenly I got a call around 10 o'clock, 10:30. Okay? You are required to come to the hall. Gurudev is there. So I rushed. And there it was a get-together. Get-together of trustees committee members of some, I don't know which place it is. Bhopal or I don't know which place. I don't remember now exactly. They were all there. And Gurudev was there. Brahmachari, get it ready. So I just put the mic on, everything, etc. And I was sitting there. And Gurudev was looking, all of them were sitting. And how dare you think, started. How dare you think that you can waste your money, that, this and all that. Some donation they must have received and they have not utilized properly, or something must have happened there. It was blasting them. And every time you need, you will write a letter to me asking that, give me more money, that. Oh, such a shouting I have never seen. And they are all not just some small children or anything like that, grown-up people. Trustees and committee members, they must be in their own place, big shots they must be. They are getting banging here, left, right. And, I had just studied Bhagavad Gita going on, raga-dvesh-aadi, giving up raga-dvesha, kama-krodha. And I was... He said, Jnani, Ajnani, all things going on in my mind. Here Gurudev would ask me to close the door. The door opened. Meaning, the meeting is there means close the door. But I forgot to put the latch there. And the door opened. My heart. And Gurudev looked at me. Shouting going on there. Door opened. And one small kid, maybe 3.5. A small one walks inside. Such a cute kid. Swamiji, she brings her chocolate. Today is my birthday. I want to meet you, Swamiji. Suddenly, my dear baby, I picked her up, sat down, and then, when did you come, baby? Where is mommy? Why did you come alone like this? They all are afraid of coming inside. And this baby, there's one chocolate called Ferrero Rocher. Ferrero Rocher. At that time and all, very, very rare. Okay? Now it is very rare it was. I have not even heard, that chocolate that baby takes and opens it. It has got a very nice one kind of thing, and then the baby opens it, and then Swamiji. And Gurudev also opens the mouth. And he nicely enjoys it, everything. All this drama going on in the midst of all these things. And then after the 5 minutes, 2, 3 minutes, 4 minutes over, and then Gurudev says to baby, now you go and be with your mummy and you play. I will meet you today after lunch, okay? Please tell your mummy. The baby also, yes, fully satisfied. Gives one kiss to Swamiji here. Swamiji also gives one kiss, and the baby slowly starts dudum, walks away. And I get up, I go silently, close the door and put the latch and sit down there. And you think you can do like that? Again he starts. And I was thinking, is this man really angry? Such a big drama man. That day I understood that you can have anger, but you should never become angry. When you have anger, it's in your control. You have anger. You have pain. You take it. And when you have pen, it doesn't mean you always keep your pen in your hand. You took your pen, used your pen, do whatever you require, and finally put it inside. And whenever you want, use it. But our problem is what? I don't have anger. Anger has me. Possessed by anger. Bhagavan Shri Krishna says in the Gita, Matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha. From me rises all emotions. Yes, from me rises all emotions means what? No thought is possible without the power of consciousness illumining it and empowering it. But every emotion, every thought is to be used appropriately without any emotional baggage guiding it. So it doesn't mean that you go to the scorpion and say, I am Atma, you are Atma, I am Atma, Brahma. नहीं है, ऐसा नहीं है. This is an inner understanding. The cat which catches the rat with the mouth, and the same cat which carries the kitten with its mouth. There's a difference. When somebody loves you, who loves you very much, your mother or father, they scold you. It's very different. That scolding is not to harm you. That scolding is to help you. So, when the jnani sees himself as a whole world and whole world as himself, it means he has no emotional baggage when he works with anyone, does anything. Backed with that understanding, empowered with that final clarity, at the same time, doing actions what are required at that time, as per requirement. But at the same time, inwardly detached from all actions, all emotions, without the idea or without the notion, I am doing, I am nothing. No kartrutva. You understand the word kartrutva? Kartrutva means identification with an action, making oneself a doer, jiva bhava. Without that jiva bhava, interacts completely, perfectly, in the most ideal manner. How did this person become a Jivan Mukta? Who is a Jivan Mukta? Jivan Muktastu tad vidvan purvopadi gunans tyajet sachidananda rupatva bhavet brahmarakitavat. There is some problem, voice is going up and down, at least here. All right, so we saw this. We saw this in a detailed manner. Bhavet brahmarakitavat, right? Shall we move forward? Right. The whole journey of a seeker from ajnana to jnana and the ultimate fulfillment now is presented in a metaphor, not just a metaphor, this is called extended metaphor. Where every aspect of it is connected with something. As I explain, you will understand. Yeah? I think now it is better. You please take a chair, sit down there so that you can control it for some time. Shall we read?
Teertvaa moha-arnavam hatvaa raga-dvesh-aadi raakshasaan yogee shanti-samaa-yuktah atma-ramo viraajite Teertvaa moha-arnavam hatvaa raga-dvesh-aadi raakshasaan yogee shanti-samaa-yuktah atma-ramo viraajite.
Now Shankaracharya is presenting Ramayana. And he is saying this is this. This is, we all know the story of Ramayana. Okay? Bhagavan Rama loses Sita ji, and losing Sita ji, he is there, missing her, suffering, and with the help of others and joining with a huge team and leading that whole team, crosses the ocean. Crossing the ocean, fights with the Rakshasas, killed Ravana, finally becomes united with Sita ji, and then he is absolutely fulfilled. The whole thing. Okay? Now you see. Teertvaa moha-arnavam hatvaa raga-dvesh-aadi raakshasaan yogee shanti-samaa-yuktah atma-ramo viraajite. Right? Yogee shanti-samaa-yuktah is there? Yogee shanti-samaa-yuktah. Okay. Teertvaa moha-arnavam. So Bhagavan Rama was very happy, all is well. Bhagavan Rama loses Sita ji. Loses Sita. Sita who was ever united with him. Loses the Sita. Loses Sita means what? Now that is Sita is Paramananda. That supreme Ananda, that Ananda Swarupa, this Atman loses the Ananda Swarupa to the forces of ignorance, Ravana. Losing Sita, meaning losing its true nature, the self losing its true nature. Taking that Sita ever united with him, losing. Meaning, losing how? Ravana comes and kidnaps Sita ji. The same way, the force of ignorance causes the self to lose its true fulfillment, true nature of happiness, absolute joy is lost. And then such a self which does not experience its true nature, that is a jivatma, suffering. So Bhagavan Rama suffers afterwards, goes and speaks to the trees, asks them, have you seen Sita ji? Have you seen? Etc., etc. The whole story we know. So, Rama, who is essentially ever united with that supreme Ananda, nevertheless loses the Ananda to the forces of Ajnana. Now he has to take the journey to reach Sita. Sita who belongs to him only, his own Sita ji only, he has to go and reclaim. But for that what he has to do? Teertvaa moha-arnavam. He has to cross the ocean. And what is this ocean? Ocean of delusion. makes the path through Shravana, Manana to reach there. Bridge. And reaching, not only crossing, what he has to do? Hatvaa, raga-dvesh-aadi, raakshasaan. Conquering all the rakshasas. And who are those rakshasas? All the mental weaknesses. Raga, dvesha, etc. Kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. You know these terms? The Shadrupus, the 6 enemies. Kama, desire. Krodha, anger. Lobha, greed. Moha, delusion. Wrong estimation of things, delusion. Bada, pride. Matsarya, jealousy. Each one of them, if they come and invade, you will lose your peace. Hatvaa, raga-dvesh-aadi, raakshasaan. All the various rakshasas, the rakshasa army of Ravana, along with Ravana, he had to kill. Not just their defects, but their root cause of ajnana, which made him lose this Paramananda of Sita, destroying all of them. Now here you cannot forgive them. You have to destroy them. Destroying all of them. Yogi. Who's yogi here? That Rama. Yogi. Shanti-samaa-yuktah. Going to Lanka, crossing, but knowing that Sita ji is in Ashokavana is not also going to. What he has to do? Actually go and become united. Shanti-samaa-yuktah. Samaa-yuktah, samyak-ayuktah. Very fully, completely becoming one with her. Then what happens? Then that Rama becomes Atma-ramah. That Atma, which was suffering without joy, now what happens to this Atma? That Atma becomes Atma-ramah. In other words, that Jivatma reclaims back its true nature of Paramananda. And then what? Viraajite. Now Rama has a smile. Shobhate, virajate, shobhate. Now you see the whole Ramayana metaphorically presented. In one verse. The whole Ramayana, what is its philosophy? The entire philosophy. Now every aspect is taken. The Rama, our Atma-swarupa is actually Paramananda. Somehow we seem to lose our true happiness, our Ananda. Somehow we lose means what? Because of the forces of Ajnana. Led by Ravana. And we lose Sita. Now it's not that when we lose Sita, Sita is gone. No, you can reclaim it. Actually, Sita ji is also waiting for you. And she says, you have to come and take me. I will not come with anyone else. You personally come. You have to walk the path personally. No one will walk for you. You cannot say, my guru is very great, therefore I will realize. No. Your guru can be Bhagavan. But each one has to put their own effort to walk. You cross the ocean of delusion. What do you mean you cross the ocean of delusion? All your wrong notions, ignorance, through Shravana, Manana, Abhavana you destroy, Samshaya Bhavana you destroy. Walk forward, destroy Viparita Bhavana. And when you reach there, the Rakshasas also, all remnants of vasanas, raga, dvesha, etc., everything you destroy. And don't stop there. Walk till you reach that final state of samadhi. Become united with your Ananda Swarupa. And then the Atma becomes what? Atma-ramah. Rama means what? Rama is enjoyment. Earlier also he was Rama. But now he is true Rama. Why? Atma-ramah. He has gained that Atma-sukha. That Atma now is in full delight. And in full delight, what happens? Viraajite. Viraajite, shobhate. Shobhate shines radiantly, beautifully, completely. And there is perfection. Shall we read this verse again?
Teertvaa moha-arnavam hatvaa raga-dvesh-aadi raakshasaan yogee shanti-samaa-yuktah Atma-ramo viraajite.
Now that inner fulfillment after gaining that perfection, all those things, is explained now in a few verses. Let us now take up few verses in the next two verses. Let us read both the verses together.
Baahya-anitya-sukhaa-saktim
Baahya-anitya-sukhaa-saktim
hitva-aatma-sukha-nirvritah
hitva-aatma-sukha-nirvritah
ghata-stha-deepa-vat swasthah
ghata-stha-deepa-vat swastah
svantareva prakaashate
prakaashate
Upaadhi-sthopi tad-dharmaih
Upaadhi-sthopi tad-dharmaih
alipto vyoma-vat
aliptah vyoma-vat
sarvavit moodha-vat tishthet
tishthet
asakto vaayu-vat
vaayu-vat
Baahya-anitya-sukhaa-saktim hitva-aatma-sukha-nirvritah ghata-stha-deepa-vat swasthah svantareva prakaashate Upaadhi-sthah tad-dharmaih alipto vyoma-vat munih sarvavit moodha-vat tishthet asakto vaayu-vat.
Baahya-anitya-sukhaa-saktim. Asakti, attachment. Attachment with what? Joy. What kind of joy? Baahya-anitya. The external, impermanent, ephemeral, fleeting joys, giving up attachment towards them, hitva. And then what? Atma-sukha-nirvritah. Completely immersed, completely reposed, completely fulfilled in what? In that Paramananda, which is the true nature of the self. Can we comprehend what is that infinite fulfillment that this Mahatma, this Jivan Mukta is experiencing? Can we ever comprehend? Ghata-stha-deepa-vat. Ghata-stha-deepa-vat. Swastha. What is there? Swastha. Shashvat. What is there?
Swastha.
Ghata-stha-deepa-vat. Swastha. Ghata-stha, a pot. Ghata-stha means what? In the pot. Suppose, in the pot, we keep a lamp. Now that lamp which is there in the pot is only available for that lamp and that walls of that pot. Nobody sees from outside. The same way, that supreme joy which this Mahatma is experiencing in his own heart, abiding in that supreme self, nobody can actually comprehend. What is this fulfillment? We all know what is not being fulfilled. We know what is sorrow. We know what is happiness. We know what is joy, pleasure. We know all these emotion-based. Now, this is not emotion-based. This is Atma-sukha. So, fully reposed, fully abiding in that self, what is that supreme bliss this jnani is experiencing? ghata-stha-deepa-vat, swastha, in oneself. Svantareva, within oneself, eva prakaashate. All others can only imagine what is that sukha. But that sukha, that completeness, that kritakrityata, fulfillment, what it is. None of our experiences, any time, or all of them are combined also, cannot give us a clue what it is. It is said, yat saukyam buddhi lesha leshata ime shakradayo-nirvritah. There's a text called Manisha Panchakam. In that Shankaracharya says, yat saukyam buddhi lesha leshata ime. All that happiness, all beings, all over the world and the whole cosmos, including all the devatas, what they are enjoying their happiness is, that happiness is nothing but a wee bit of a drop of the ocean of the bliss, which is Paramananda, which is that Atmananda. Imagine a whole ocean. In that whole ocean, you take one drop of water, and that drop of water also you cut it into 1,000 pieces, let us say. And then that wee bit of you take. That wee bit is what is being enjoyed by all beings all over the world, starting from an ant up to the creator, Brahma. Let us say Brahma, Vishnu, whatever, Shiva, all deities, and all, Indra, Vayu, Varuna, all of them. Whatever everybody is enjoying, what is it? That is only a minuscule of happiness. And what is this happiness which this Atmajnani is enjoying? That infinite Ananda. What is it? ghata-stha-deepa-vat swastha svantareva prakaashate. Like a lamp placed within the pot, is not seen by others. Maybe you can see a slight effulgence here and there, outside. Some slight light coming, escaping out. That's all. But nobody can comprehend that light. That light which is inside, available for itself and that pot. In the same way, that Atma-sukha, which is experienced by the jnani, is experienced, and who is a jnani? That jnani is that Paramananda, Satchidananda Swarupa. Only that experiences. And then its effulgence falls upon the walls of the pot. That antakarana of that jnani, that mind and intellect of the jnani, gets to experience that reflection of that light there. But otherwise, that glory of the light, only that light experiences. Others can only infer, looking at that Mahatma, at no time. You find descriptions of the Mahatma in Sthita-prajna Lakshana and the Bhagavad Gita. You find descriptions of the Mahatma as a Jivan Mukta. You find the description of the Mahatma as a Bhakta in Gita, 12th chapter. As a Gunatita, again in the 14th chapter. All these descriptions, with that we can get only a vague idea. But only the jnani knows what is that deep fulfillment and complete joy, infinite bliss that he is experiencing. But what about the sorrows and sufferings which the Upaadhis go through? Even great Mahatmas go through sometimes they go through, not all of them go through. As per karma of the body, it will be there. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa had a throat cancer. Ramana Maharshi had this problem that body will have some problem or the other. Body will have some problem. And one day the body has to go. Some way it will go. It may be a cancer, or it may be so whatever it may, heart attack, or it may be, a stroke. It can be anything. Body will go through its own troubles. That's not going to change. Upaadhi-sthah. Even when that Mahatma is associated with the Upaadhi. Associated with the Upaadhi, not because he is associated with the Upaadhi. We say associated with Upaadhi because you and I see him with Upaadhis. He is pure Brahman only. But we see the Mahatma with the body because we are identified with the body. When we have a problem, it expresses in our vision. We think the Mahatma has got a particular form. We think Swami Vivekananda is standing like that, dressed in this turban and like this. We think he is standing. You ask Vivekananda, are you standing? I am neither standing nor sitting, nor walking or running. I am the pure Atma Swarupa. We imagine that the Mahatma is doing this or that, but for the Mahatma, Upaadhi-sthah, tad-dharmaih, aliptah, nirliptah. He is not associated with anything. Like what? Munih. Vyoma-vat, munih. Vyoma-vat, vyoma is space. Like how space is untouched by all those things which are in it. A ditch can be there, but the space is untouched. Ganga-ji flows, space is untouched. Because it is space. It's a different level. There's a nice agarbatti fragrance coming. But that has nothing to do with space. Space is untouched. A very foul smelling coming from that septic tank. Space is untouched. In this way, vyoma-vat munih, this reflective saint, munih, maranavan munih, one who is reflective and knows the truth of the real nature, sarvavit moodha-vat tishthet. Sarvavit, even though he knows everything, all the nonsense, all the crap, all the funny, foolish things we all do, he knows everything. Jante. But moodha-vat, he would be as though he knows nothing. Sarvavit, knowing everything. Why? Because Brahman, the pure Sachidananda is everything. Therefore, knowing Brahman, one knows everything. Moodha-vat tishthet. He keeps as though for others, he looks like Pavam. He knows nothing, he knows. But he has got such a deep perception over things. Yes. Why? Because if a sadhaka itself, as he walks the path, mind becomes pure and things become very clear. And jnani's mind, what purity, what goodness, what sattva. But yet, for the world, he will be as though knows nothing. But these Mahatmas are all very smart. Very smart. They are capable of, mighty people, capable of enormous achievements. Enormous. And with the minimum expenditure of energy, they accomplish many things. With no tension, no worry, nothing. No ego, no pride, no wanting this or that. Sarvavit moodha-vat tishthet. Asaktah, detached. Vayu-vat. Like vayu. Vayu is what? Wind. You cannot hold wind, tie down wind to some place. Detached. Vayu-vat. Today it is here, tomorrow that wind is there, day after tomorrow it is there in the Bay of Bengal. Then afterwards goes to Indian Ocean, then afterwards crosses Asia. Then it goes to what? Goes to Pacific Ocean, then goes here, there, goes to Arctic, goes to Antarctic. Vayu-vat. Utterly detached. Goes like the air, goes like the wind. All these verses that we are reading are all descriptions of Jivan Mukta. Jivan Mukta means what? Liberated while living. What do you mean while living? Atma Swarupa is ever living, it never dies. What do you mean while living? We think a person is alive when the body is there, when they are functioning. So what is this? Who is this? What is his experience? How is he? Shankaracharya is trying to give us a peep into that through these verses. Jivan Mukta, liberated while the body, mind, intellect, upadhis are there. Then comes a state when the prarabdha of the upadhis are over, when the prarabdha of the individual upadhi, there is no individual here, prarabdha of the upadhis are over, then what happens? The upadhis end. Deha ends. The body ends. Then a Jivan Mukta, we say, becomes Videha Mukta. He was ever Mukta. A Mukta becomes a Mukta. Meaning what? Earlier he was with body, now without body. That becomes Videha Mukti. That topic Shankaracharya is giving us in the next verse. That we'll take up in the next session. Shall we read the verses we completed today? Teertvaa moha-arnavam.
Teertvaa moha-arnavam hatvaa raga-dvesh-aadi raakshasaan yogee shanti-samaa-yuktah atma viraajite Baahya-anitya-sukhaa-saktim hitva-aatma-sukha-nirvritah ghata-stha-deepa-vat swasthah swantareva prakaashate Upaadhi-sthah tad-dharmaih alipto vyoma-vat munih sarvavit moodha-vat tishthet asakto vaayu-vat charet. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.